But it gets to a point with him that he can't do it anymore, and he basically has to. He basically says, "Well, I'd rather die doing this than live not doing anything else." So, great film for sure, The Wrestler. Next up on the list is the 2006 film The Pursuit of Happiness, starring Will Smith and his real life son Jaden Smith. Basically, it's centered around the true story of Chris and Christopher Gardner, who in the 1980s, basically, Chris is doing what he's a not very good salesman, trying to make ends meet for him and his son and his wife, who ends up leaving him, and he's left alone to try and raise Christopher. And they're struggling through this in the 1980s, and Chris's attempt to become a stockbroker and make really good money for his son Christopher. I think the fact that Will and Jaden are father and son in real life really lends to this movie. It's a great movie, great storyline, very heartfelt and genuine. Really relate to the characters, and just a great overall film. Next up on the list is the 2017 film A Dog's Purpose. What makes this unique out of all the animal stories that have been done throughout the years is this one is done from the dog's perspective. You got Josh Gad voicing the dog as if the dog could speak, giving you an idea of what he thinks his purpose is in life, or him discovering what his purpose is in life. And just a really relatable film. Dennis Quaid is in this as well, and just great animal film. Very simple, very unique storyline, but it works so well, and just a great overall film. Next up is the 2015 film Minions. These guys started out as sidekicks in the Despicable Me movies to Gru, and they got so popular they ended up getting their own movie line. You don't understand what the heck they're saying half the time, but you don't have to. They're just hysterical. They're like little yellow Three Stooges. They're just hilarious in their pranks and their silliness, and just great movie overall. And who doesn't love Minions, honestly? Next up and lastly on the list is the 2008 film Gran Torino, directed by and starring Clint Eastwood. This movie for me is another movie that's almost near perfect. It's a visceral and guttural kind of storyline, very hard nosed and serious and violent at times, but it works on so many levels. You got a guy who was a Korean War vet living in a neighborhood that was at one point predominantly white people, and a lot of them have moved away or died off, and he's left with a lot of minorities living next door to him, people who he's fought in the Korean War, not very happy about it, but he ends up becoming their savior against local gangs. And just one of the greatest performances of Clint Eastwood's career, and you know how long and storied of a career Clint Eastwood has had, but this is just such a phenomenal movie. Great storyline, great character, works on so many levels. So yeah, that is pretty much the recommendation for my top 40 videos. Hopefully you agree with me. Like I said, if there's any you think I left out and I maybe should do in another video, let me know in the comments. I'll certainly have a look at it. I hope you enjoyed this, folks, and we will catch you in the next one very shortly. Take care. All right.